Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Shuffle Podcast, episode 290.
90.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Annie.
Annie, how are you? Okay.
The
Phone
phone
down.
everywhere. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Of this, Grandpa?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's too damn bad.
Well, I'm just too damn bad.
We've got a podcast to record.
And no, it's another late one.
It is another late one. Granted, I was here almost 2 hours ago.
I
Yes,
understand.
You had to make your mug cake. I almost said cupcake. I was like, you didn't make a cupcake, which technically you did. You technically made a cupcake.
Yeah, and it wasn't even very good.
Yeah, that's upsetting. It took you a while to get through it.
Really.
That's how you know it was bad.
It's not even done. I didn't finish it. That's how
Oh
you
my
know
God.
it's bad if I didn't finish it.
Yeah.
First of all, I finished everything. Second of all, it's cake. Who doesn't finish cake?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm sure a lot of people don't finish cake.
What are you about to say?
I was going to totally
go
just
into
back into the
something?
podcast.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've got something for you first.
Okay.
This will be real quick. Got my weekly sneeze count.
Oh, that's right. We did talk about this.
Last week,
Yeah.
I said I was going to keep track of all the sneezes I heard this week. So I did people out in the world, and I did me.
Mm-hmm.
I sneezed 5 times. 2 of them were literally right before you walked in the door.
Yeah.
And I think it was because I was blowing shit everywhere.
You were kicking dust up.
So I sneezed 5 times this
You were
week.
blowing shit everywhere. Yeah. We have a peanut gallery, but it's Caitlin, so don't expect. I don't even set a mic.
We didn't
over
even
there.
set up
She
the
doesn't
mic.
have a mic, so
Outside sneezes were 13. 7 of those were my mother.
your mom's a big sneezer.
My mom was in town, and she sneezed 7 times.
Yeah.
So take that for what you will.
I sneezed on the drive over here, and it was a solid one.
I feel like you sneeze a lot.
I do sneeze a lot.
Because we were talking about that last week. Like, you would
Yeah.
notice immediately. I sneeze 5 times in a week and a
If I don't
half.
sneeze at least once a day, there's a problem.
There's something wrong.
Yeah. Because I'm just like always like getting shit in my nose. I don't know. Like, I also think I do this a lot. Like, I constantly am just like rubbing my nose. I have a
Yeah.
very just like itchy, I don't want to say itchy nose because like I don't have allergies, but I just like, I always get like a tickle right there. And so I think just the amount of times I touch my face and my nose, I
brings
probably
a
just
lot
get a
of
lot of stuff
debris.
up in there. Up.
Gotta get
Stuff
it up
in
there.
there. So yeah, I sneeze a lot. And when I do sneeze, it's always like the dad sneeze, just very aggressive.
No.
Yeah, the louder the better.
That's what she said.
Yeah. I actually, is it what you said or what he said?
Could be both.
Yeah. Could go either way.
Could go either way.
Anyways, so 2 things. One, sorry for the late episode. I was told today by a fan, Adam, that we have beef.
He told me too.
Yeah.
He said
I was like, is it because
he said he had a bone to pick with
Yeah.
you specifically.
Yeah.
I did
I was
nothing
like,
apparently.
I was moving. I'm sorry. So I did just move into a new house, and I was moving until 5:00 in the morning the other day when we were gonna record, and so we just had to cancel the recording and push it back. So this episode is coming out a couple of days late. So again, I am very sorry. And then what was the other thing I had?
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th of July. I'm wearing my Star Spangled shoes.
Wearing an Alaska sweatshirt that I got in
One
Alaska.
of the 50 states.
15 original colonies. I know it's 13. I don't know why 15 came
Yeah.
out.
Also, Alaska was not one of them.
I know. All of that was wrong.
Yeah, everything you said was wrong. But yeah, so this is our unofficial official 4th of July episode. Of course, our episode would have been out on the 4th, and I would have been maybe a little bit more decked out in 4th of July gear. But
Here we are.
yeah, here we are.
It would have been because he texted me like halfway through the day and he was like, I'm probably gonna have to come over a little bit later because I'm nowhere near finished packing. And
Yeah.
I was like, maybe we should just not.
Yeah. When I can't even tell you, like, so my goal was not to cancel, right? Like, my goal was work until I cannot anymore.
Yeah.
And then go record.
Yeah.
And you had texted back and said, would it be better if we just canceled it and did it another day and like uploaded late?
Yeah.
And as soon as I read that text from you, the immediate relief that I felt knowing that it wasn't my suggestion, that it wasn't going to like inhibit you at all.
And then I told him, Joe, I have no plans.
Yeah.
Why would that bother me?
it just instantly like took so much weight off my
Well,
shoulders,
good. I'm glad.
and I was so happy. And then the night only got worse from there because again, I started at 9 a.m. that morning.
Yeah.
So woke
Ugh.
up at 9 a.m. I start packing up the
Why
U-Haul. I
did it
start loading
take you
everything
so
up
long?
because there's a lot of stuff in that house.
Oh.
Um, so I start packing, start getting things in the U-Haul, start throwing stuff into the cars, and doing all the things. And around midnight, right, I finally got the help of Riley around 7:30 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
But around midnight, I was like, I gotta wake up in 6 hours for work. I was like, I usually give myself 6 hours of sleep, so my goal was be in bed by midnight. That wasn't happening. And so I'm like starting to get a little antsy because now I'm like, okay, now I'm cutting into my sleep, but we're moving closer to work, so I can push it to like 12:30, 1 o'clock, and I'll still be okay. I can wake up a little bit late. And then 2 o'clock rolled around, and I've got 4 hours before I have to wake up. And that's when I had a breakdown. And I was like up in the office packing up my house, and I kept like I just couldn't focus on one room.
Mm-hmm.
I kept just like I would like start packing things up and I'd get frustrated or I'd get like just overwhelmed and then
Yeah.
I'd just move on to another room.
Yeah.
And so I was never like completing a whole task.
Yeah.
And that drives me crazy when I can't like finish something right then and there. And so what I did was I walked out of the office across the hall into the bedroom. And the bedroom I thought was done because Riley was like, bedroom's taken care of. I was like, beautiful. I just went to go check. I walk into the bedroom. I've still got clothes up on the shelf in the closet, and I've still got a laundry basket full of clothes on the floor.
Oh.
That's really the only. It was like maybe one trip worth of stuff.
Yeah, but it's just.
But I looked at that and I was like, oh my god, I physically can't. And so I walked downstairs. I sat down at the bottom of the steps and I just cried. I just lost it. Riley walked back in. She came over. She was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "I cannot do this anymore." I was like, I can't. I just have to. I was like, every time I walk into another room, there's more stuff, more of it being mine, some of it not being mine. I go, but I'm going to lose it. And of course, I've already lost it. I'm crying while packing up my house.
She's
But I'd
like,
also been up for
brother,
this.
you're already gone.
Yeah. By this point, I'd already been up 15 hours working on this.
Ugh.
And so I was, again, just beat.
Yeah.
And so what I did was like, I just started sweeping the kitchen. Because Riley was trying to like pack up the kitchen and there was dog hair everywhere. And I was like, we got to clean the house. So I'm just going to sweep. And I told her, I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not being useful. I'm not helping with packing, but I just like, I cannot pack up another thing. And she was like, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I was like, thank you. And then 4 o'clock rolled around. We were making one of our last trips. Our plan was, okay, so it's 4 o'clock. We're getting close to being done. We're going to bring over what we've got. We're going to come back to the house. We're going to grab plants, dogs. Those are the last things. Is the plants and the dogs. We're good to go. And so this was the second last trip. And I was like, okay, sounds good.
Were you going back and forth from one house to the other? Oh my gosh.
Because we,
How far was that? Like 20 minutes?
The trip was made 10.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
It wasn't bad. We're moving 10 minutes closer to work.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we go to the house, we unpack everything, and I'm just like, I mean, my legs are hurting, my arms, because I spent a good chunk of the day working just by myself. So I was lifting all these heavy things into the U-Haul.
Yeah.
And I'm still sore from it. I'm in so much pain. And so 4 o'clock, we go over to the house, we unload the stuff we had, trying to like organize it all. Because now we're like on these little boxes of things or just like individual things that we threw into the car.
Pain.
And so like we can't just throw it into the garage because then we're going to lose it or break it. So we have to like kind of go into the house and organize it a little bit, which is just adding more time on.
Lord.
And so around 4:30, we're at the house finishing up. And I'm like, Riley, I think I'm going to have to call it here. I have to be up in an hour and a half. I have to call it and get some sleep. And she was like, I like saw the look on her face of like, I need the help now. And she was like, okay, that's fine. But like I'm going to have to leave some of the plants behind. And I was like, why? Like her car's bigger than mine. So I was like, why do you have to do that? And she was like, well, if I'm bringing both the dogs over, I'm going to have no room for plants. She's got a St. Bernard. I have a chocolate lab. So 2 of the biggest dog breeds you can find out there that'll both fit in a car at the same time. She's not going to have any room for all of my plants that I have and all of her plants that she has. And of course, being me, love my plants. Can't leave my plants behind. They're like my pets too.
Oh.
And so I was like, okay, I'll come back over. And she was like, no, go to bed. And I was like, no, like I'm not leaving stuff behind. One, I'm not leaving stuff behind at the house. Two, the pile of trash that was out front of our house was massive and growing by the second. So I'm not just adding more stuff into it and some of them being plants. And so I was like, no, I'll come back. And so we threw all the plants in the back of our cars, got the dogs in the cars, go back over to the house. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'd been up for 16 hours just packing at this point. And she was like, okay, you go to bed. Like, I think I left the old house before her. She was like, okay, you go take Darwin, take the plants, unload it, go to bed. I'll be not far behind you and we'll take care of the rest. And I was like, yeah, okay. I get to the house, I let the dog in. And of course, like, he is at a brand new place. So he's like all giddy and excited. He'd been napping the entire day because I was just moving stuff around. And so he's like sniffing the new house. He's running around. He's going crazy. He's all excited. And I'm like, Darwin, you got to relax. It's bedtime. And I just like,
it is past bedtime.
Yeah, I just like stumble into bed, just fall flat into the bed, plug my phone in, fall into bed, and just immediately out. I told her, I texted her, I was like, make sure I'm up by 6:30 at the absolute latest. So I think by the time I actually fell asleep, it was about 5:30. And
I mean, I'm surprised you even went to bed at that point.
I considered staying awake, but because I knew that I had a very busy day ahead of me, I was like, I need to get something. Because if I try and push 24 hours plus of sleep.
And this was the day before the 4th, right?
This was on the 3rd, going into the 4th, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I knew that I had like a full 8-hour schedule of work, and that was going to be on my feet the entire day. And then I knew that I was going to try and go to Epcot right after work. And so I was going to be there till 9 p.m. or till 9:30 most likely because of the fireworks. And so I was like, I'm going to be pushing 36 hours.
At least your like work day was kind of chill. You were grilling burgers.
Yeah. But again, standing there on my feet in front of a hot grill.
Yeah.
Luckily that kept me awake because I was very active the entire day.
I'd rather sit on a hot grill.
Yeah. But I will say on my break, I like sat down in the chair and I was just like dozing off. So
I want to know, he walked up to me today at work and he stood next to me and I was like, you don't look good.
I was just like, thanks.
You didn't. You look so tired.
Yeah,
like just like
I'm beat.
Yeah, you look beat.
And I knew that
not like in a bad way, but you just looked
I knew that
tired.
Today was going to be worse than yesterday.
Yeah.
Because like I'm still like yesterday I was just running on pure adrenaline and patriotism. That's how I got through yesterday was America was fueling me. I had the red, white, and blue back in my ass. Back in my ass. And so like, but I knew that like I was going to come home from Epcot. I was going to, let me jump back in the story, right? I woke up at 6:30. Riley woke me up and immediately I was angry because again, I just hadn't gotten enough sleep.
Right.
And so like now I'm just like, because of course now I didn't have anything prepped. I didn't have my clothes ready. I didn't have my outfit for work ready. Like didn't know where anything was because we had just fully moved everything into a new house. So I was just angry. And I had to wake up Riley, who had also just gone to sleep, and tell her to help me find things because I just like couldn't even get my bearings in this new house. And she kind of knew where things were.
Yeah.
I felt so bad. And I called her later when she woke up at like 10 a.m. And I was like, I'm sorry for being an asshole this morning. She was like, it's fine. I was like, it's not, but I appreciate you accepting my apology.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Lord.
And so, but anyway, so I knew that like, okay, yesterday
Can you imagine if we had filmed a podcast and all of that? That would have been awful.
Yeah. And so yesterday we were leaving Epcot. We get home, go to bed at a decent time. And I was telling Riley, I was like, the next day is going to be awful. It's like when you work out and like the day after your workout, it's not so bad. But the day after, you're like, I can't even walk.
Yeah.
I feel like today I have been walking like I got brutally fucked in the ass. That's how I feel like I've been walking. Don't know why I fisted myself, but that's how it feels. Because like my legs, specifically the left one, just aches like crazy. My arms, my hands, you know, like when you've been like gripping things for an extended period of time and it just like hurts to like clench.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Hurts
and
to
I
clench
like
any part of my
You
body.
were like a position today too where you just were up on your feet all day.
Yeah.
Until
is
the very end
exactly
there.
right. Until the very end. And I begged for that position at
I
the very
know.
end. I was like,
Please let me
sit
sit.
down. I couldn't, after my break was over, I was like, I got to get up and end my break, and I can't even do that. I've been in so much. I know tomorrow I'll be fine, and that'll be great. But
And
boy,
even in all that, he was so super kind and bought me a Diet Coke.
I did, yeah.
He was so nice.
Yeah.
Because the vending machine took my
I'll tell
money.
you what, when you asked me for that, and I thought you asked, like, you were going to ask me to bring it now, like, in that moment, I was about
Bring
to
it
be
to
like,
me
you
now.
can
Wouldn't have done
suck
that.
my
I
cheeks.
wouldn't have done that to you.
Like, that's what I was ready to say to you. I was ready to be like, absolutely not. Not a chance in hell am I walking all
I
the
was
way over
having
there.
a crisis because the vending machine took my money,
Yeah.
didn't give me a Diet Coke. And I knew Joe was in a place that had another vending machine that was working. So I was like, please, Joe. You can see the text. I was like, please. Please bring me a Diet Coke.
Yeah. I was like, all right, fine.
And then he did. I saw you like 4 hours later. And then you
Yeah,
did.
warm Diet Coke coming your way.
Yeah. Man.
That's what happens.
Well, you moved in.
Yep, moved in.
And-
House is a disaster. It's absolutely hideous.
Okay. And wait, it
right.
took us like what? 2 months before it looked like we weren't squatting in this place.
Yeah, that's how I feel like I'm a hoarder. That's what it looks like.
The
You know,
first like
those
while we
shows.
lived in this apartment, I was like, we're literally squatting in
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, it's
I
not
have a
fun.
picture of us sitting on cardboard boxes eating dinner. Like,
Yep.
we're
It's-
homeless.
I don't think I haven't even eaten a meal in the house yet. We've been there now 2 days. I have not eaten a meal because I've just been out
I can't believe you didn't eat before you left.
tonight.
Yeah, tonight.
I had to get here. What do you mean?
Oh my god, you should have eaten.
Riley was like, "What do you want to do for dinner?" And I was like, "We'll just make something when I get back." I was like, "Or I probably just won't eat. I'm not eating. Just gonna go to bed." Why eat when you can sleep, right, Caitlin? Caitlin knows what's up.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I have to wake up at 7:30 tomorrow morning. Go home, go
I
to
have
bed.
to wake up at like 6:30 tomorrow.
Yeah. So there you go. Bada boom, bada bing.
Early.
That's how I maintain my skinny figure. Starvation and dehydration.
That's healthy.
All of the Asians.
Very healthy. That's so healthy.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna die at a young age. But also, I don't know that I will. You know, like I think I'm
Joe's
like
gonna defy all odds and live till
I
he's like 105.
genuinely what?
Joe and
Yeah.
Caitlin are,
You know how, I mean, we've talked about this before, like those little old ladies that they interview and they're 110, 115.
and they drink like Dr. Pepper.
And they're like,
every
yeah, I
day.
had chocolate bar. I had a Reese's and a DP
There's
every day of my life.
One of my dad's favorite interviews is this old lady who like had just turned like 100 or something, and
Yeah.
they interview and they're like, "What's your
What's the
secret?"
secret?
And
Yeah.
she's like, "I drink a Dr. Pepper every single day."
Yeah, they call it Dr. Pepper for a
They don't
reason.
call it
yeah.
Dr. Pepper for nothing.
You know, I'm convinced that's gonna be me. Like, I'm gonna age. I'm gonna,
Drinking your DP.
yeah. Zero sugar though. The aspartame's probably
Zero
gonna
sugar,
kill me.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm gonna make it to like 110, and people are gonna be like, Joe, what's your secret? And I'm gonna be like, I didn't drink a sip of water for years. My entire like prime life, where I should have been drinking water to maintain a healthy lifestyle, didn't have any. Today, I told you this. I went to go get. I said I was like, I feel like I'm gonna pass out, so I'm gonna go stand in front of a fan.
Mhm.
I eventually like walked up to, I'm totally blanking, to departure, and I stepped into the office up there, grabbed some water, and as soon as I walked back out, my body was tingling. I was just drenched in sweat.
Both of y'all.
Yeah, my skin
So
was
bad.
just so cold and clammy. I was like, "Oh, I'm having heat stroke." Yeah. Yeah, I was like, I'm experiencing heat stroke right now. So, and then I was like, okay, well, I can't do anything about it because I am running the place right now.
And so, do you know what he does? He walks back up.
I walked
and
back
stands
out
next
front
to me.
and I stood. Yeah, and hey, there you go. I stood near a fan in some shade, and eventually the clouds came and took the sun away, and I felt a little bit better.
Oh my god.
I'll tell you, as soon as I got my break, I felt fantastic. Like, by the time I sat down for my lunch, I was like, oh, I'm great now. I just needed a moment and a cone cup of water.
Cone cup of water.
Cone cup. So I have had some water, but
Should I get you a glass right now?
I'm good. You know what I said today? Why would I drink water when there's better liquids out there, when there's better drinks?
Because water is like, I don't know, essential
Essential
to life.
Yeah, whatever. And I get water. What first ingredient in your Diet Coke? What is it?
Water.
Yeah. How about that? Curious, isn't
You know
it?
the second one though is though?
Sugar.
Caramel color.
Oh.
You know,
Really, the second the second most prevalent thing in your Diet
caramel
Coke
color.
is caramel color.
You know what the third thing is?
Sugar.
Aspartame. This is a Diet Coke. There ain't no sugar in
Yeah, I'm
this.
sorry. Ain't no sugar in this.
Anyway, I was just telling him about my all natural peanut butter that literally has
Same thing in here, by the way. Oh, as third ingredient here is phosphoric acid.
my all natural peanut butter that literally has 2 ingredients in it, and I was like, it's good for you. And then I whip this out and I
Yeah.
start drinking this.
And that's the thing, like, right? Just because things are good for you doesn't mean they're good for you. Like,
Okay.
again, like things that are better than water, everything that has sugar in it,
Yeah,
everything.
but not better.
If water had flavor, I'd be down in water every single day.
But water can have flavor.
Yeah, but it's like rarely good. And
I
also,
like-
if it's got
I-
flavor, guess what it also has? Probably sugar.
I like water. I like a nice crisp glass of ice water. But you don't like ice.
I prefer room temperature water. Because I have very sensitive teeth. And so, like, if I drink cold water, it hurts.
What a first world problem.
Yeah.
I have sensitive teeth,
Yeah,
so I don't
there
drink
are
ice
people
water.
in the world dying
like
for water.
dying of thirst,
And I'm
so
like-
begging for
Yeah,
water.
I'm like, if there's
And
water in
Joe's
my
over
water,
here,
I
like-
swear to God.
Joe's over here like, I got sensitive teeth. I can't
Yeah.
have ice water.
Yeah. In my opinion, right, I got too much water. Give it to the starving, or give it to the dehydrated kids in other countries. I don't need it. I'll be fine.
We're slowly getting there, slowly but surely,
Getting where?
to the
To
third
not having
world.
water?
Yeah.
I don't think we're getting there.
Okay.
I
I'm glad
think,
you don't think so.
I think we're actually far from that point.
Yeah, they still don't have drinkable water in Flint, Michigan.
Well, they'll never have drinkable water there. People just should move. Just
Move-
leave.
move out of
Like, you're better
Michigan.
off, like,
Why would you even want to live in Michigan? It's
yeah.
cold up
What's
there.
in Michigan?
The cold.
Well, the cold's in other places too.
Nah, just Michigan.
But like small town Flint, Michigan, and your water's killing people and it's flammable,
leave.
just get out. At this rate, it's not even worth the fight anymore, which is so not okay to say. But- you know
Just
what
give up.
happened today? I was at work, and I don't remember who said what, but I was like, it's not too. I was like, what year is it? 2001. And then I picked up the phone, and I said nothing. I just picked up the phone. And I just go, they hit the second tower. And I was like, I made the 2001 joke just so I could do that moment.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's so awful.
But yeah, just leave Flint, Michigan. Like, just
move out.
stop fighting and leave, right? They're never going to come fix your water.
Give up.
Yeah. Like the next town over is probably good.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never been. Actually, I have been to Michigan, but
I've never been to
never
Michigan.
been to Flint, Michigan.
Nor do I plan on going to Michigan.
It was cold. It snowed the whole time I was there, and I had to
When'd
play
you go? February?
December. I had to play soccer in it.
Soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In shorts and a t-shirt, and it was the worst experience of my life.
Yeah.
I will
You
never.
play soccer in the winter?
Yes, it is a fall sport, and nationals is in December.
That makes it not fall
And
anymore.
unfortunately,
Unless it was like December.
we were
12th.
really good, so we made nationals every year. So every year it was in December. And
Weird flex, but okay.
Well, the year before we were in West Palm, which was fantastic.
Beach, Florida?
Yes, fantastic, wonderful. It was 80 degrees. I loved it.
Arguably too hot to play
No,
soccer.
not for me. That's prime soccer playing weather.
Yeah, your house is always a billion degrees.
I'm actually freezing right now. I know.
It's not cold. I am wearing pants and a long shirt, though.
I'm
So.
freezing right now. But then the next year we pulled Michigan, and I was like, oh my god. And then it snowed the whole time we were up there. It was awful.
Yeah.
And I will never go back. I like the football team though. No, I liked their quarterback.
Right. So, anyways, the things that we had to
So,
talk about.
anyways.
We've already gone off the rails before we even got on the rails.
I know. What are the rails? Do we have rails?
So something happened recently, right? We went to dinner for our eat of the week, and
Yes.
I witnessed something that was.
Oh my god, this was on my list too.
Oh, how about that?
I think is this what you're about to talk about?
I did say write it down during dinner, so
Yeah.
it's possible. That something that you do.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I wrote this down to talk about.
What were you looking up?
I don't even know.
You were looking, I think, your schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, hey, look up your schedule. Or we were talking about your schedule. You wanted
Yeah.
to look it up. And so you pull out your phone, you start looking it up. Phone is just on the
Not
loading
loading.
screen, not loading right away.
This app
And
is
without hesitation,
notorious.
Annabelle picks up her phone
It's so slow.
and just goes, I was like, what the fuck? And she was like, it loads faster. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it loads faster.
And then you proceeded to tell me how every single one of you motherfuckers in your friend group put your phone to your head
Sure do.
with the idea that it makes it load
I
faster.
won't lie, I don't remember whose idea it was first. Was it Meg? Okay, so Megan told us about this months ago.
Yeah.
Like,
Our
what-
social media manager, Meg B.
yes, months ago. Like, probably not a year ago. Not quite a year ago, but like a long time ago. Early
In
on.
between a year and a month ago.
It was a while ago. Like, it was a while early on into our friendship.
Yeah. But less than a year ago.
And it was the idea.
Probably more than 6 months.
Oh my God, Joe.
But definitely less than 12.
Remember how I said sometimes I could not kill
Hey,
you?
that's fine.
Moving down on the list.
I don't think it's a long list. Last I heard, there were 2 people on it. So I can only be second.
Okay. Yeah. List of people I'm not going to kill. And Joe is slowly but surely moving on down on the list of 2.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, the idea that Meg presented to us was that if something on your phone is not loading in a timely manner, you could hold the phone up to your head or someone else's and it would load. And ever since then, we've done that and it seems to work. I don't know if there's any science behind it.
There is no science.
However, you put the phone on someone's head, 9 times out of 10 for us, it loads immediately.
I'll bet you any money it was about to load immediately anyways.
It might. However, it works. So we do it.
You also waited 0.5 seconds before putting your phone to your head.
It was taking too long.
It was literally half a second.
It was taking too long. We can. Yeah, like
I've never had a problem getting my phone to load in the
we
break room.
always do. There's no service in the break
I've
room.
never had an issue. What carrier do you have?
Verizon.
There's your problem. What about you? AT&T on this bitch.
Okay.
Sponsor us.
You know who went down company wide a couple months ago?
Oh, sure. They always do. But they still got better service. At
Oh my God. Anyway, so
least it's not T-Mobile.
we do that. And so now it's just kind of like at first it was just kind of like a joke, but like then it like actually it works.
Now
like,
you believe it.
yeah, because and whether
You've placeboed yourself.
probably it's placebo because what I don't do I actually believe that our brainwaves are making it load faster?
I think
don't.
you do believe it.
I know.
because-
I don't think I do.
Because you argued against for it.
However, I don't think I do believe that. I just know.
I don't think I believe it.
I just
But
know.
I'm going to continue to
Shut
do it.
up. I just know that every time I put my phone on someone's head,
It loads.
it loads.
Almost like your phone is supposed to.
So I keep doing it. Anyway, so
And
I
so
did it
I
at dinner
said-
the other
Go
day.
ahead.
I did it. And
I said that you are slowly giving yourself brain cancer.
potentially.
Probably faster, or probably more so than you're making your phone load with your brain waves that I'm convinced, have so little of. Because you were putting a phone near. You know what people used to do? This actually is gonna like make me sound old. I think because you probably didn't even have a phone when people were doing this. But people used to turn their phones upside down and hold them up to get something to load or to get a better service.
I've never heard that.
Because I'll say get better service because on the old iPhones, the
server.
like the antenna, because phones needed to have an antenna back then, was like the white bands around the case, around the
yeah.
and so it was always on the bottom.
I don't think I ever knew that that's what that
Yeah.
was.
And so if you turned your phone upside down, you'd get a better service because your antenna was
Up.
pointing up.
Oh.
Um,
I never knew that.
yeah, as soon as they got rid of like cell phones that had actual antennas,
Yeah.
which when I first got a cell phone, the antenna was always very small. It wasn't like the fucking thing that you had to pull out.
Right.
So my first phone had a tiny little antenna, but as soon as I got a phone that didn't have an antenna, the antenna was always built into the bottom of the phone. So you would, even one of my flip phones, you would turn it upside down.
Huh.
And you'd get a better service that way.
Well, this is
a better signal.
my equivalent of that. Stick it on your head.
You think your head is your antenna.
Anyway.
You know, that's what that's similar to. Have you ever seen La La Land?
Yeah.
They, in the scene where they're walking back to their car, and she's trying to beep her car. He says if you put it next to your head, it works better signal.
See?
And then he said you're probably getting some sort of brain cancer from it, but
that works. Anyway,
it does. A musical does not prove your theory correct.
Anyway, Joe didn't believe me the other day when I said that I have done that for months, and then I said, literally ask anyone in our friend group because every single one of us does.
And so
that.
then I questioned what I had said last week on the podcast of, am I really that attentive? Am I that aware of my surroundings? Because I'm convinced I would hear people stop sneezing, but I had no idea that you guys have all been doing this
all the time. That's a very common thing. We do it. Yeah, like we'll just be sitting at a table, and
I mean, to be fair, like when we're all out together,
we won't even say anything about it.
On
we'll just
our phones a lot.
No, we're not. But we do it a lot in the break room because things are very slow.
And
in
I'm
the
not
break
paying
room,
attention
and
to
you're
you guys in
never
the break room
with us there. So, but we'll just be sitting, and we won't even like say anything. We'll just kind of like, okay, thanks, and then move on.
Right.
And that's it. You need to like next time
I don't want to witness it.
No, but next time we all go out,
I will bully you. Sometimes people need to be bullied, and this is one of those cases.
Bring back public shaming.
Yes.
2025.
Yeah.
But yeah. What can we say?
You can't. And really, it's your life. Who am I to judge?
Not hurting anyone. Well.
Yet. Yeah.
We don't think.
Until you see a commercial like you see for mesothelioma.
Yeah.
Did you own an iPhone in 2025?
If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, you may be entitled to financial compensation.
Yeah. From Apple.
Yeah. But they're not going to entitle me anything.
God, no. It's probably written into their contract. If you put your phone
they're
to
going to be
your
like,
head,
don't put your phone up to your head.
Yeah. And you're like, how am I supposed to answer a phone call? Insta-cancer.
Do you remember that? There was like actually a news article though a couple years ago where they were worried about cancer down here. What do you call that? I know. I can't think of the word.
Cancer down here in your bits.
In your bits.
Bits cancer.
No, I can't think of the word right now. The medical word.
Which one are you thinking of?
All the bits.
All the bits.
I can't think of it. But they were like genuinely concerned with that because of
I assume you mean for you like uterine cancer?
For anybody. Because there was so
for
many.
me, it would be testicular.
That's
yes.
what I can't think of the word.
Which bits are you talking of?
I can't think of the word for the bits. That's not the point of this.
Ovarian?
No.
No, you can't get cancer in the over. You can. Sure, you can. You
definitely
get cancer everywhere.
Yeah. Maybe genitals.
I don't think people say genital cancer.
No. What do you call it?
Depends on the genital.
No, it's the broad term. Whatever it is. Anyway. They were worried. They weren't worried. They thought that like you were going to get cancer because so many people were walking around with phones in pockets, like back.
Do you
pockets.
keep gesturing to your back pocket? Are you talking? Do you mean colon cancer?
I'm literally just pointing to my phone,
ass
which
cancer?
is currently in my back pocket.
I want to know which cancer you're thinking of.
I know. I can't think of the word for it.
I mentioned the uterus. I mentioned
but it's not like a specific organ.
Okay.
Hold on.
I'm holding on.
I don't know what to call it. I can't even I don't even know how to type this in because
you're like, what kind of cancer can my iPhone give me?
But like that was it was like a news story that they thought that this kind of cancer was going to increase because people were walking around with phones in pockets.
Yeah, with a radioactive device.
Yeah. Anyway.
Right.
At one point in time, I will find this.
Has
word
that cancer increased? Did you do research? Did you follow up?
Done no research. I just remember.
You're like, I'm just gonna keep putting where else am I gonna put my phone?
I know. I don't care. It's like my mom, who's always, whenever she sees me drinking a Diet Coke, she's like, "That'll give you cancer." And I'm like,
yeah, you're definitely gonna die at a young age.
She's like, "That'll give you cancer," and I'm like,
your mom doesn't drink Diet Coke?
No.
Wow.
She doesn't drink soda hardly.
Yeah.
Talk about drinking water.
She drinks a lot of water.
Oh my God. She's probably mostly made up of water. Well, we are anyway.
Yeah, we are all what? Yeah. She was making you drink water?
Well, we just always stop to drink water. We just have
See,
lots
when
of
other people stop to get
hydration
water, I'm just like,
breaks.
okay, enjoy. Like in fish. So, do you want me to tell my embarrassing story, or do you have something that
I
you
do
want
have
to?
something, but you can do your embarrassing
No,
story
mine's
if you want.
long. It'll wrap up the episode.
Okay. I don't really know if this is gonna be a long topic, but the other day, obviously, my mom was here, and we were walking around the theme parks together, and we go to the bathroom a lot. My mom goes to the bathroom a lot, and I
That's 'cause
usually
she
just
drinks a
go
lot of
with her
water.
because we drink a lot of water.
Overactive bladder.
Yeah. And there was a theme I noticed almost every single time I went into the bathroom. So I walk in, I go into a stall, I go to the bathroom, whatever. Great.
As I hope you would.
I
Yeah.
usually, as one does, pick a stall with nobody on the other side of you if one's available.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
if
yeah.
it's a big enough bathroom, you pick a stall where there's nobody next to you on either side. Every single time I went to the bathroom, in an empty bathroom, somebody wound up right next to me. Right next to me. And I literally would come out and I'd do my whole thing with my, like, what the,
Yeah.
me being like flipping out. But the final straw, I took a picture of it because it was kind of funny. And I know I shouldn't take pictures in bathrooms, but it was
Says who?
so absurd. I had to document it. I'll have to show you the picture in a second. It was the bathroom in Communicore, which the women's restroom in that building has 50 stalls. It's a massive bathroom.
Wow.
I'm saying 50. It's probably like 30. It's still a lot.
That's
but
still a lot of stalls for a bathroom.
I can show you a picture. There is not a soul in this bathroom. So I like to pick the first stall if it's available. I like that one. Mentally,
Sure.
I like it. So I go in, go to the left, I pick the first stall. There's a wall on my right, there's a stall on my left. Fantastic. Somebody, as one does, walks into the stall right next to me. And in my head, I'm like, what the heck? Because this is now the like 8th time in a span of 2 days that this has happened to me. And I'm like thinking I'm going to go out and tell my mom again, somebody's next to me. So I walk out of the stall and I turn and I look at it. Not only is there someone in the stall right next to me, there is someone in the stall right next to them. And I'm looking at this bathroom with 30 stalls. There is not a single other person in this stall in this bathroom except for the 3 people in a line now right here.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Oh, it sounds like just laziness. You don't want to walk all the way to the other end.
And so that's when let me see if
It is kind of crazy though.
It was just so like preposterous. Do I have the picture?
It's funny while you're pulling that up because like in a men's room there are rules.
Right. And that's what I was thinking. I was like, one would never do this in a men's room.
You never stand next to. That is a lot of stalls.
So this was where I was.
Yeah.
There's someone here. There's someone here. The rest of the bathroom
is fully empty.
Is completely empty. That's a lot of stalls.
Yeah.
They could have even gone over to this side, like the right side.
Yeah.
It's not even laziness because they could have gone the same amount of steps to the right.
I don't know.
I was so lit, and that's why I took the picture because I was like, what is happening?
When you walk into the bathroom, is it a straight walk in or is it like, do you walk in and turn to get to the stalls?
This one, you turn to the left and then it's straight back.
So you're already turning left. So
you just turn left again.
Turn left. That's what it is.
But that was the last instance. But it was like literally like 6 or 7 times when my mom was here that this happened to me. And after that time, I was like, I got to write this down because I have to tell the world.
Stop sitting
all
next
67
to
of
you
our subscribers, please, for the love of God, stop sitting next to me in a bathroom.
Yeah.
Like, go anywhere else. If that's the only stall, great.
Yeah.
Sit there, whatever. But if the bathroom is completely open, I'm going on as far away from that person as I possibly can.
Yeah.
And I thought
that is the rule in men's rooms.
Right.
When you walk up to a urinal, if you're the first one there, you've got your pick of the litter, but everybody always picks one on the end.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's the short one, in which case you don't pick that one.
You have a short one?
Yeah, there's always one urinal that's significantly lower than all the others.
Really?
Yeah,
for shorter people?
For either
kids?
children or
Okay.
short people.
Short people. Okay.
I
think I realized that. That's
yeah.
funny.
Yeah. I mean, why would you, right?
What if we had short toilets? Like a little squatty potty.
For what? Somebody sit on the fucking floor?
I mean, that's what they do in Japan.
I know it's weird. But anyway, so you typically take one on the end, and then the other guy that will then come in, he's taking the one on the other end, as
Naturally.
physically far away from you as he possibly can.
As you should.
Yeah.
Naturally.
The next person that comes in
Mhm.
splits the difference.
Mm-hmm.
From then on, it's every other.
You just keep
never
splitting the
stand
difference,
next to
yeah.
somebody, and
What-
unless you
I was
absolutely.
gonna say, what
have
if that's
to.
your only choice?
I mean, if the bathroom, if there's a line, which there never is, but if there is, if it's a full bathroom, you're taking whatever's opening up. Right, like if you're at like a football game, you're taking the urinal next to the guy.
I can't even fathom walking into a restroom with people standing next to me and just going to the bathroom. I don't know how you do that.
Well, there's a divider
How big is it?
big enough that you don't see the guy next. I mean, like that you don't like see anything next to you.
Do you have to like look forward? Like, is it like bad etiquette to like look around?
Oh yeah, you do not look. There are two options when you're at a urinal. You're either looking down or you're looking straight at a fucking tile. You pick a tile and you stare and you study that tile. You memorize how that tile looks and the time it takes you to pee. That you do not look around. Are you insane?
I don't know.
Look around.
I've never been in a men's restroom.
No, there are no words spoken in a men's room.
No words.
No words
Oh,
are ever
see,
spoken.
we'll talk
chatty
between- no.
Cathy's in there.
We'll
in
talk
in
between
women's
stalls.
room. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is insane. You do not speak in a men's room. It's like a funeral home in there. There's no speaking. It's so quiet. You could hear a pin drop. The only time something is spoken is when somebody opens the door and tries to leave while somebody's trying to come in. And you're like, oh, sorry, and then continue about your day. That's it.
That's so funny.
If there's a bathroom attendant, you thank him.
There's an attendant?
Well, I mean, like fancy bathrooms, there's an attendant sometimes.
Fancy
Yeah, I'm sure women's restrooms have them too. Somebody to hand you a towel after you've done washing your hands.
I don't think I've ever been in a bathroom
Really?
where someone's handed me a
Is this something exclusive? Because you guys will have like couches sometimes in your fancy
I've been to a bathroom that's had a couch. I've
never been in a men's room with a couch, but I have been in several men's rooms with a bathroom attendant.
What?
Yeah. He's the guy who hands you a towel when you're done washing your hands.
No, never.
Sometimes he'll pump soap into your hands for you, so you don't
No,
have to touch a
are you lying
dispenser.
to me
I
right
am
now?
not lying to you. And you typically tip him if he's been very helpful.
What?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of this?
Oh my gosh. Is this exclusive to men's rooms? Because I feel honored now.
I have not heard of this to the point I feel like you're lying to me.
I promise you I'm not. And again, it's typically like higher end restrooms, like you're never going to find it at a freaking, at like Kitty
theme park,
O'Shea's.
yeah.
But it is, yeah, it's like, it's very nice.
Like if you went to a nice restaurant, they would have them there.
They might sometimes, yeah.
No.
It's also like,
I've been to a couple of nice
it's also
restaurants.
like
never
wildly
seen that.
annoying when they have one because you're like, because
just
you know
leave
what
me
they
alone.
don't, you know what they don't have when they have a bathroom attendant? A towel dispenser. So you're getting your towel from a guy who's paid to be in there and help you.
You know, actually,
and so you have to.
I've been in one bathroom, I think, that had a bathroom attendant, and it was at the Strawberry Festival, and it was those like mean old ladies. We went to the Strawberry Festival, and there was these, and she kept yelling. I just remember she was like, "There's a stall on the end," like she was like telling us.
Yeah, she was a bathroom monitor, not an attendant.
She was like yelling at us.
Yeah, no, this guy's there to like. They don't put soap dispensers in. I mean, or they will, but they're going to be like fancy automatic ones
But
because
they,
they don't
like,
want you to like get.
Touch anything?
Yeah, they don't want water everywhere. So like you're gonna go wash your hands. This guy's gonna come over and like.
Weird.
I mean, that's not in every single one, but I had a bathroom attendant one time who like had soap, and I was like,
This
I
is
mean, obviously,
blowing my
yes.
mind.
And so of course, because he's being there helping you and not giving you any other option, you're gonna tip him.
This is blowing
You
my mind.
Pay to go to the fucking bathroom, but it's also really convenient to have somebody in there to take care of shit for you.
Just do all the things for you.
Yeah. But yeah,
Wow.
so there's two places that you look, and you don't speak unless it's to somebody saying, "Oh, sorry for getting in your way," or "Thank you" to the bathroom attendant. And then you leave.
You leave.
The occasional joke is made if it's just you and your friends in there. Like that's the only time it's okay to stand next to somebody in an empty bathroom. If it's just
If
you and
you
your
know
friends,
that
yeah,
person.
and you're fucking around, and you go stand next to them, and then you have to say, "This is a rule." You have to say, "Is that a new watch?" as if you're looking at their watch, which as you could
right
probably
there.
assume is right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or is that a Rolex? You can say any variation of watch related comedy.
That's really funny.
And then everybody laughs, and it's. But yes, it is super weird standing right next to somebody. Sometimes the dividers are very small.
Yeah.
They're just enough to divide from chest to knee. Or not even chest to knee. Chest to knee is generous. Chest to ass
like,
is
far out
typically
do
all
they
you're gonna
come?
get.
Oh. Like how? What
far
is
out-
what is
how
the
thick
depth?
is this table? Maybe a little
Probably
bit
like a
thicker than
foot.
this.
Like
Maybe a little
like
bit.
deeper.
A little bit deeper than a foot.
Okay.
Because I mean, looking at me, right? Like I'm a skinny guy.
Mm.
I can stand and be blocked.
Yeah.
I can block my bits with this table. But not everybody can.
Right.
So I guess that's not true. You're honestly all you need is a foot because it's only blocking.
You only need the front part.
Exactly. You're only blocking at most a few inches here and there. But yeah, and again, nobody's looking. But there have been times you're like, God, I wish these closed. Like, I wish there was a fully enclosed thing because I've walked into a bathroom and seen bare ass at a urinal. Some people,
Just take it all down.
and maybe they're not all there. Maybe they've got a little bit of stuff. They
It was
fully
the guy doing whale calls at me
drop
from
drop
while he was
drawers
pumping his gas.
and just
I bet he does that.
bare old man ass I've seen. And
What?
yeah, I mean, it's not like when fathers bring their children in, the kids don't know the rules of how to go to the bathroom without
Right.
fully depantsing.
Naturally.
And so like it's not uncommon to like, there are little kids and you just don't acknowledge they don't exist in a bathroom, right?
Right.
Little kids get freedom.
That's like when
They
the
can do whatever they
moms
want.
bring their sons into the women's restroom.
Yeah,
And
everybody's like, okay,
I
that's
get
fine.
it, but it's also part of me is like, this feels weird.
Yeah. But when you see old man ass in a bathroom, you're like, something's amiss here. Something has gone wrong.
Something is not correct.
Yeah, something is terribly, terribly.
You ever
not
just
okay.
like go in the stall to go pee?
Yes.
Like if you just don't want to deal with everyone around
If I don't
you?
want to deal, or if there's no urinals available, if I just want a break from society and privacy, yeah, absolutely. I will also
Yeah, imagine.
if there is a urinal available, but it's not a super crowded bathroom, but it's the last one that like would fill up the wall, and
You're
I don't
just
want to be
like,
the guy.
I don't want to be in
I
between all that.
will I will walk in, notice that it's not one that's separated from other people, and I will pivot. I'll go to the sinks and I'll pre-wash my hands, just to kill some time.
That's funny.
But I'll make it like seem like I'm like washing my hands until a couple people leave, so it doesn't look like I'm a freak who washes my hands, goes to the bathroom, and then washes my hands again. I don't want to look like a clean freak, or like I have a reason to wash my hands before
Right.
going to the bathroom.
Right.
So I'll like go over there, I'll wash my hands, like that's all I'm in there to do. And then once enough people have left that aren't paying attention to me, then I'll walk over to the
Oh
urinal.
my god.
It's that anxiety part.
You
That's
would
like,
you would
yeah.
chronically overthink a bathroom.
Yeah, 100%. Because I would notice if somebody walked in
Right. Wash
and
their
washed
hands,
their hands, went to the
went
bathroom, I'd be
and
like,
then
the
washed their
fuck's
hands
wrong with
again.
your hands?
Yeah.
What are you about to transfer over to me? Because this 1 foot wall not stopping it. I'll tell you that right now. But no, to answer your question, it doesn't block the face. You can fully
You can,
look
like-
at. You can look right at the guy
But
next
you would
to you.
not turn and look at that person.
You would never turn and look at the person.
Which is
Never.
so
And if
funny.
somebody does start talking,
It's like frowned upon.
there's something's wrong with that person. Like it better be an emergency.
Me and Logan and I have sat on opposite sides of a bathroom before and had like full conversations stall to stall.
Women are a different breed.
Yeah.
You guys.
Or it's also like sometimes
That is insane.
or it's like if you walk into a bathroom and it's hard to tell like if somebody's in the stall or not, and you just fully just like look and see if there's feet, see what the open stalls are.
wild.
Yeah,
Men's rooms also don't have a lot of stalls. to
I know,
begin with.
yeah,
You
yeah,
We've got 3 maybe.
right.
2 regulars and
Not the 30 that were in that one
and a
that I
jumbo.
showed you.
Yeah.
I do have another bathroom story from last week, real quick.
ahead.
It
Yeah,
was
you're good.
also when my mom was here. Caitlin was here for this one too.
Trying to see
The hair clip.
at time.
The hair clip. I know. She was worried about me. Um, so I'm going to the bathroom,
Yeah, as one does.
and as one does, and I was done. I was getting my bag off like the hook, and I had my hair clip
Hook. Oh, on the door.
like the on the door,
Yeah.
and
I was like, you got hangers in the freaking.
no, like the purse.
Yeah. On the
I
inside of the
was
stall.
yeah, and I was getting it off, and my hair clip that I keep on the outside of my bag fell. What?
Nothing. You said,
What did I
you
do?
said you repeated you were getting it off, and all that came out because you said it really fast was I was getting off. I was like, wait a second, hold on.
Getting it off. Um, but my hair clip was on the outside of the bag, and if I
It's
was
on the
putting
toilet.
no,
Oh,
no, not that.
Eh.
That I would have just it would have been gone forever.
yeah. You're like,
Whatever.
that's the toilet
Sorry,
now.
it's yeah.
Yeah.
This is the property of the bathroom now. No, but it fell on the floor and it fell into the stall next to me, and there was somebody there. Yeah.
Did they do the?
No.
They didn't kick it over.
No.
What a bitch.
Right.
Yeah.
So. So, and I was done. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go out, and then she didn't give it back immediately. So I'll just go out and wait for it. And I saw her when I went out there. I saw her reach down and pick it up.
You steal your clip.
So I was sitting there. I was waiting. My mom and Caitlin had like gone to the bathroom, and I'm assuming left
Yeah.
at this point because they're nowhere in sight. And I'm standing there and I'm waiting and I'm waiting, waiting, and it's so long that my mom comes back in to the bathroom and she's like, "Are you okay? Like what's going on?"
You're
She
just
was
standing
she
there.
was checking on me, and I was just standing in the middle of this. It was a Magic Kingdom bathroom, so it was a busy one.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I was like, I'll be out in a second.
You didn't want to explain the whole story right then and there.
Oh, so
I'd have been like, yeah, I'm just waiting on my hair clip.
I was just standing on my phone in the middle of the bathroom laughing because it was just a funny situation in my head. And so I'm waiting there for probably like a solid, like 5 minutes. It was a long time. Finally, this lady comes out, and it's a little like abuela, like a little Hispanic grandma.
Yeah.
And I see it, and it's on her purse or like her crossbody in the exact same place that I would keep my clip. And I was like, I think that's my clip. And she looked at me all confused. She was like, "What?" And she definitely did not speak a lick of English, and was so she was like, "What?" And I was like, and then I was like, "That's my clip, my clip." Because I didn't know how else to like describe
Hey,
it.
you know, you gotta.
I was like, my hair clip. And she was like, "Oh," so then she breached it, and I was like, this lady was like,
She was full blown ready to steal that thing.
right. She was, maybe that's why she was sitting in there so long. She was just waiting, make sure the coast was clear.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting me to still be standing out there, but I was like, no, I want my hair clip.
Yeah, she saw you get out of the stall and not pick it up. She was like, mine now.
She was like, okay, great.
Finders keepers.
She was gonna walk off with it. Anyway, that was kind of a weird story.
What a bitch.
I know.
That woman is unbelievable.
Yeah.
There's no courtesy in a women's restroom. And you guys take 20 years.
I don't. I pee fast. This abuela did not.
Well, she was up there in age. Maybe she's having some issues. I don't know if that happens to women. I'm going to be honest.
I don't know, actually. I think it gets easier. The more kids you have, the easier it gets. Right? That's what happens. Yeah.
Maybe. It's not that way. Sorry, I got a text. It's not that way. It's
There
not
was a
that way for the
noise.
men.
No.
Yeah.
Shame.
Yeah. Hope it doesn't happen to me, but
With all the aspartame. Who knows?
who knows? Who's to say,
Who
really?
can say? I'm surprised I don't get more kidney stones drinking all this Diet Coke.
People tell me all the time, like, you drink so much pop, not enough water, you're going to get kidney stones. My kidney's perfectly healthy. Your mom was saying the other day that I need to go to the doctor just because, like, I should do general checkups, right? Which is true. 29 years old, I should probably start taking care of myself. But why would I go to the doctor if I'm not healthy? Or if
If you're not healthy?
I'm not sick? Yeah. Thank you, Caitlin.
Oh my God.
Because it's like, why am I going to spend money to go to the doctor when I don't need to spend money to go to the doctor? Yeah. Well, now you are a woman, so might be a little bit more important, which is the same argument that we made for you.
When?
at dinner.
Oh.
Yep.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I
And
tune out any conversations my mom has about my well-being.
yeah, you are your mother. I hope you know that.
Me?
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Because you are.
Like in
You
what
are
way?
so similar to your mom.
In what way? I need to know.
Well, and for starters, you told Caitlin to go to the doctor.
Very important to me that I know this.
I just said. I literally, you actually like cut me off right at the end of the sentence to say it's very important. Like you didn't hear me.
I do that a lot though. Okay, so because I told Caitlin to go to the doctor,
Because you're very concerned for Caitlin's well-being.
she pays half my rent.
Oh, you're very concerned for your well-being.
We know this. We have a mutual understanding.
Yes. Caitlin
The other
texted
day
me
when you
died.
poisoned me, yeah, and she said this is gonna actually that was me. I texted that. Did you tell?
No.
Oh, I texted from Caitlin's phone.
Yeah, that I believed. And I assume
Joe
the
tried to
picture
poison
was
me
you
the
as
other
well.
day with a hamburger.
It was yesterday, not the other day.
Yesterday with a hamburger
I didn't try
with
to.
a lead pipe in
nor,
the conservatory.
Nor did I poison you. I did not try.
You did.
I did not.
You did. I was dead on the couch.
You were not.
I was dead on the couch.
No.
I literally okay, but genuinely, I was very ill yesterday, and I blame
Yeah.
it on the hamburger.
You had the meat sweats?
No.
You ever get the meat sweats? Have you ever had the meat sweats? And
What are the meat
pray to
sweats?
God you don't ever get the meat sweats.
Why do you keep saying meat
I've
sweats?
gotten the meat sweats several times. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It's when you eat. What? What are you looking at? It's when you eat so much meat that. Yeah, so you've gotten the meat sweats. But just for, I'm not telling my embarrassing story just based off timing, by the way. We'll save it for next week. But, because now the meat sweats have taken over. So yeah, the meat sweats are when you eat so much meat that you you physically, you like get ill. Like your body, like you start like sweating, you start like, you're just in pain. Your stomach hurts.
That's not normal.
You get hot.
That is not normal.
Oh, it's actually quite normal.
I think you should go to the doctor.
No. I promise you it's a normal thing. You've never heard of the meat sweats?
No.
Yeah, it's real. It's a real thing. I was out to dinner one time with Riley and her her family.
Uh-huh.
I got the meat sweats.
Oh my god.
Because I went to.
You're a sweaty person, though.
I went to.
Like
I'm not,
in general.
though. I'm not a sweaty
Joe,
person.
every time you walk into this apartment, you're drenched.
That's because the walk up here and your fucking apartment is at the 79 degrees.
It's 74.
I'm not sweating right now.
Good. It's cold in here.
It's not. My back is sweating because I'm leaning against a leather chair.
You know, so am I. My back is not sweaty even a little bit.
But you're also comfortable in this setting right now. You're wearing shorts and a sweater, but you are not cold or you are not hot. You said you're comfortable. I am warm. And my back then being pinched against a leather chair produces more heat. But I'm not a sweaty person. Like today at work was an episode.
He was having the meat sweats.
I was dying from heat exhaustion. But like, I mean, I can go through a whole day at work and I'm like, everybody's like, I'm dripping, and I'm like, I'm fine. Like, I'm not.
I rarely sweat at work.
Yeah, I'm not a sweaty
Probably
guy.
also not.
I've got
good.
friends who are sweaty guys. My brother is a sweaty guy. My brother can be sitting here in 32 degrees and he's like, I'm sweating my ass off. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I don't know. My point is, meat sweats, right? I was out to dinner. We were at Woody's Roundup. That's the name of the place. Right. And they, as you know, have all you can eat.
I did not know that, but now I do.
So you pay, all you can eat meat. Yeah, they pay, and you pay. Yeah, I almost said they pay. Yeah, they bring out a platter of meat, a bunch of different barbecues.
Barbecue.
And they, bless you, and they say, what else do you, like, what more do you want? Like, they just let us know what more you want after you've eaten it, and we'll bring more out. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to brisket, obviously. And I eat the brisket. I'm like, this is straight flames. Please give me more brisket. And so they just
This
bring
is
you,
straight flames.
yeah. So they bring you more brisket,
Right.
and I eat more brisket along with the pulled pork and the chicken and the whatever else they brought you and the sausage.
I think I should never go to this restaurant. I
And
don't
no,
think I
you
would
need
like
to
it.
go to this restaurant. It is so good.
I don't think I like meat like
Regardless of
that.
the meat sweats.
I was
It's
gonna say,
well, because here's what I do, right?
I don't think I
'Cause
like meat like that.
Yeah, you can eat just one serving.
I need you guys to know, Caitlin just said to me, you can eat a normal amount of meat.
Yeah. You can. And what I do, and here's my downfall, right, is like I'm gonna get a sweet drink because I'm not gonna get water. So
Naturally. Why would you?
I typically end up getting
Sweet tea?
lemonade.
Oh. Okay.
Because I love lemonade. And so I will get a lemonade, but the lemonade, like when you get like a Coca-Cola product lemonade, it is
Sugar.
the sweetest
Yeah.
lemonade. Yeah. And so it happens when I combine a very, 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 very sugary and sweet drink with a bitch load of meat.
Like a chemical reaction in your body.
My stomach's like, hey, we're not doing okay anymore.
The only thing you could do is shake it.
Yeah, just shake me and I'll probably explode out of both ends.
Like a glow stick.
Yeah. But yeah, so I got the meat sweats. And like it starts for me with like a really bad stomach ache because I'm just consuming so much food so quickly and I'm just dumping sugar on top of it. So my stomach's like, we're not okay. And so it's like a stomach ache where I'm just like bracing and I'm just like, I am not okay. And then I'm like sitting like this, but this is worse because I'm like pinching my stomach. And so I'm like, okay, I got to stretch out.
Shifting all around.
Yeah. And so what I'll do is like, I'll literally like take a deep breath so I can like stretch out this and I'll just like expand myself because like stretching my body out helps. It's always a weird thing, but I will like stretch as much as I can because that like relieves the pain of my stomach. And then you just start sweating. And that's the meat sweats. And usually for me, it'll go away 15, 20 minutes. I'm good. Once the digestion starts working. But that day at dinner with Riley and her family, her mom was like, just pump me full of pills. She was like, I've got that because she's got really bad like indigestion and heartburn. And so she's always carrying around basically fucking horse tranquilizers.
Oh my God.
But no, she was like, here, take this. And then she was like handing me this pill that was like tiny. She was like, try this one. I was like, I don't know what you're giving me, but okay. I don't know that it expedited the issue or the resolution, I suppose, but I eventually felt better.
Well, good.
Got back to the car. I, kind of sleep a little bit. And as we start driving, I was like, and we're good. I'm good. And it just went away eventually.
What a strange
Yeah,
series of events.
Yeah, if I'm eating too much, sometimes it'll happen if I just eat any food and drink again lemonade that's really 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 sweet. Like if I get a strawberry lemonade, it's gonna be a problem. I'm gonna get a tummy ache.
We're gonna have an issue.
Yeah, we're gonna have an issue here. But yeah, the meat sweats can come without lemonade or with lemonade. It doesn't matter. The meat sweats are the meat. Because you're just.
I don't think I've ever eaten enough meat to warrant an issue.
I wouldn't recommend it.
I don't plan on it.
Yeah, but it is. Woody's Roundup is a lot of fun.
I don't like meat like that. I don't think. Not like that.
Well, yeah. Yeah, no, it's like especially like red meat. Like that's tough to. Your bodies react to red meat different than chicken, right? Like I don't think I'd get the meat sweats from eating chicken.
Right.
Because I could eat chicken all the live long day.
Right.
But you start tossing brisket, sausage.
Sorry, you're doing the eye thing again. He's doing a lot of that.
I'm trying to think. Brisket, sausage, ribs.
I've never had a rib.
I enjoy ribs.
I think the thought of eating it freaks me out.
Yeah, there's not a lot of meat.
It's like when you think about what it is. And when we think about any meat, it freaks me out.
Here we are again. Just don't think about it. Just eat the food.
Here we are again.
You ever use glue?
Not really.
You think about how glue is made? Does it bother you?
I don't really use glue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you think about how it's made, or would you just be like, yeah, this holds my shit together? You know how glue's made, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
Like horse something. That was an Animal
Horse
Farm.
is good. You're good with horse.
That
Yeah.
was an Animal Farm.
What?
The book.
Never read it. You know how Jello's made?
Yeah, I can't think about gelatin. I love gelatin. I really can't think about gelatin because I love it.
See how you just don't think about it and it makes it okay?
My blue sharks in there.
Your what?
My blue sharks. My gummy blue sharks, Joe.
Okay, say gummy next time, damn it. Don't assume I know what your blue sharks are.
I talk about blue sharks every day of my life.
I've never once heard you talk about blue sharks. And she does not, Caitlin confirmed for me right now, she does not talk about them every day of her life. You're nodding she does or she does not? You do not talk about...
Freaking blue shark on my water bottle. I love blue sharks.
I've never even seen these gummies before.
Blue shark. That's not the gummy, but it looks like it. It's a blue shark. I love blue sharks. They're all in the pantry. Do you want to try one?
You're making me uncomfortable.
You're making me hungry.
Throw them over here. Oh, from Bussies?
Okay, this is
Hello?
these are the best ones from Buc-ee's.
I love the good bus.
I single-handedly am keeping the blue sharks at gummy.
Blue sharks at gummy.
The blue sharks at
Yeah,
Buc-ee's.
I can already tell I'm not gonna like them. You know why? They don't have they don't have like a hard outer shell. So good gummies have a hard
Take a bite of it, Joe.
have a hard outer shell.
Hard
a
outer shell.
hard outer shell.
Take a bite.
A hard outer shell, and these do not. Yeah, like I don't like that when it's got pull.
That's the best part.
It's too.
Oh, you gotta stop
Yeah.
right now.
too gummy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean.
No, we love these.
You like these too? The flavor's good.
Okay.
But it's the texture is not. Like,
Buc-ee's Blue Sharks has
do you
the best
remember?
texture.
Do you remember old
How did we get on Blue Sharks?
gelatin?
Gelatin. Ugh,
Do you remember
I'm thinking about it. Beef gelatin.
beef gelatin? Isn't it wild to see beef in the ingredients of a gummy?
I'm gonna spit it out.
What is the flavor of these?
Blue.
Apple juice. That's what it is. It's also got. Oh, it's just got apple juice concentrate, but it's blue raspberry and lemon.
Thinking about it now.
The beef. The cow that had to die for your gummy shark.
Thinking about it.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I didn't want to hear the sound of a bag in the microphone, but it's fine. I think I just got a. Just ahead.
Glucose, sugar. Are glucose and sugar not the same thing?
They are.
Glucose, comma, sugar,
Yeah.
comma, water, beef gelatin, apple juice, citric acid, palm oil, which is also horrible for the environment. Beeswax. I saw you make a face.
Care about the cows, but you don't care about the environment.
And blue one. See? Blue.
Blue isn't a flavor.
That is. Says it right there. Blue.
No, it tastes like blue raspberry.
There's also, you can also taste like red.
Anyways, you remember the old Scooby-Doo gummies
Mhm.
before they got to where they are now?
Those were too soft on the inside for me.
But I'm talking about the outer
outside.
texture. The outside texture they were firm. They were
Okay.
hard.
Yeah.
Those are good gummies. Those are similar to, like Welch's gummies. Welch's gummies are made with real fruit, no sugar added, and that's like, why do I want these? I don't think there's no sugar added,
I
but
don't
they're made
think
with real
that's like
fruit.
Welch's.
They're not as bad as Welch's. They were a little bit firmer.
Yeah.
But they're not as firm.
I
as,
really
like
like the
good
texture of
gummies.
these. And
They're too gummy.
going off on 5 million tangents today. They had these at Buc-ee's for the longest time, and every time I went there, I would buy a bunch of bags of them.
Probably buy those at Publix.
No, not this kind. It's this specific kind.
Right.
But I used to buy a bunch of bags when I went, and probably 2-3 years ago, they stopped selling them And I went to every single one and I asked all the cashiers. I was like, the blue sharks, and they were like, you're probably the only one that bought them, so they got rid of them. And I was like, that's rude. Then literally the last time we went to the beach. When we went to the beach, like a month ago, 2 months ago, we went to the Buc-ee's there and they had them.
It was like 3 weeks ago, by the way.
It was not 3 weeks ago. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, because then I left a bag in the car and it melted into
One big gummy.
one big gummy. Which, like, it's still probably good. I haven't thrown it out because it's still eatable.
Edible.
As soon as I said it, I knew it was wrong.
We have a word for that already.
Yeah, I was so excited. They're back.
You're gonna like slice it up?
I probably should.
Little slices.
I should get like the little blue shark mold.
Yeah, you could melt it back down and
Blue shark.
into the mold.
Anyway, those are my blue sharks, and I love them so much.
Except for the beef part.
Caitlin got me a blue shark.
So
keychain.
vegetarians couldn't eat.
No, I had a friend who
Well,
was...
vegetarians just don't eat meat. They would probably eat other animal products.
No, but I had a friend.
Vegans would.
I had a friend who was a Sikh, and they like
A
practice
what?
a Sikh, like from India. You know what a Sikh is, right? Oh, Sikh. It's a religion.
Sikh.
Yeah. A Sikh.
Okay.
It's a religion in India. She was a Sikh. They don't cut their hair. It's very long, pretty hair. They practice veganism, and she couldn't eat gummies.
Ridiculous.
And that's how I learned that gelatin was made of animals.
So,
And that's
yeah.
the story of how I met your mother.
Yeah. How do we want to do the order? Do we want to do Eat of the Week trivia or Trivia of the Week?
Trivia, then Eat of the Week.
Let's take it to some trivia.
Let's take
But
it
next
to
week we
trivia.
will have my embarrassing story that happened recently.
Cool.
Um,
We yapped for a long time this time
yes.
about literally nothing.
It's always the episodes where pre-episode we're like, I got nothing to talk
We're like,
about.
we don't have anything to talk about.
And
And
we
then we
just
just go
go-
down all the rabbit
Yeah.
trails.
Holes. Hit us. What is the national animal of Scotland? I think I've got it.
Also feel like I've got it. I feel like we're going to say the
Curious.
same thing, and I
think we
feel
are.
like it's going to be wrong.
Because how many Scottish animals are there really?
At least 2.
I think there's also a reason that maybe this this question was picked. I'm locked in.
Now I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm
Oh.
also locked in.
Okay, what'd you say?
I said a sheep.
Oh, I said a Highland cow.
Either one. What is it?
Is there multiple choice? Okay. A unicorn? Hey, Scotland, pick another one because you're not allowed.
Oh, it's New Zealand where there's more sheep than people. That's what I was thinking of.
Sheeple. That's why I thought it was Highland cow.
Yeah, we have a Highland cow on the wall right there.
Okay, well,
A
how quickly
unicorn?
can you... Highland cows have horns.
Not one. They have 2.
They could have one
A
if
duocorn.
there was a terrible
A
accident.
duocorn.
Oh,
She's
good.
got another one. What is the only food that can never go bad? I actually know the answer to this one.
Oh, well, now you have to pick a new one.
No, that's not how that works.
This is week 6, too.
Tiebreaker.
So if you get this right, we tie. Even though I'm winning by 4 to 1.
Landslide.
Yeah, it's 8 points to 2 right
This
now.
is how I got it last time too. I won the tiebreaker.
I know. It's so stupid.
I'm so bad at trivia.
What
Until
is
I'm
the
good.
only food that can never go bad? Is there a food that can never? Surely there is. Food that can never go bad. What doesn't have an expiration date?
No,
Gummy
don't give
sharks.
him help.
Blue sharks.
Honestly, probably.
Food that can never go bad. Is it like a common food?
No, don't tell him.
Okay,
Don't
is
tell
it a
him
common
anything.
food?
I'm not going to tell you anything.
You've got it.
I do have it.
So let me get as close as I can to correct.
No, I'm not going to help you.
Is it? It's got to be a dry food. Can't be wet. Wet things go bad quick.
What? was like a WHET.
Yeah,
Wet.
Can't be wet food. God, how does anybody know this?
I don't know how I know it.
I just can't even think of food now.
What is food? Never eaten a thing a day in my life.
I don't know. Oh wait. No, I don't think I've.
Oh.
This is a dumb answer. I'm changing it. I'm locked in. What'd you say?
Honey.
That's it, isn't it? I wrote down pasta, and I was like, the pasta can definitely go bad. Because then I was like, well, dried pasta probably lasts a really long time, almost forever. And I was like, rice. That's what I settled on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, but
honey is not a food. Honey is a condiment.
Oh my God.
It is a topping. It is an additive. It is not a food. Also, I've seen some bad honey. Tell you what, you leave honey out, it's gonna go bad.
They literally use honey to preserve things.
Yeah, I know what they do. I'm just saying, honey can go bad.
How do you think they did Jurassic Park? They used
Never
amber,
seen it.
which is basically honey.
You ever seen a crusty honey?
You ever had a Krispy Kreme?
Was it crispy?
Was it crispy?
Right.
Right.
Okay, so tiebreaker. Do you have another question lined up, ready to go?
We need a tiebreaker now. Because I won the tiebreaker.
It doesn't
It
have
does?
multiple choice?
Does not.
None. I don't think any
Well,
of them
none
have
of them
that.
have had that.
Oh, God. What can I possibly... First woman? I'm locked in.
Do you know it?
No, I just gotta... I pulled a guess out of my ass.
I know, it was so fast. Okay.
I like the first name that came to mind. I was like, I'm going
Rock
with that
and
one.
roll.
Because if I start thinking about it, I'll lose it. I feel like this one we're just gonna have to go with like... I don't know if we even can go. If one of ours is inducted and the other isn't, that person can win. Or we can pick a new question. It's up to you.
If one person is inducted.
I feel like if my answer is in and yours is not, that makes me closer.
Okay.
I don't know if mine's in the Rock and Roll
I was going
Hall
to
of
say,
Fame.
do you know that yours is?
I
And that's why you.
don't.
Okay. Then fine. That feels fair.
Okay.
As long as you don't know that.
I do. I cannot confirm that my person is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't know what it takes to get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I don't either. I'm locked in though, I think.
What is your answer?
Dolly Parton.
I said Janis Joplin.
Are
either of ours-
Franklin.
Can you Google it?
I
I suppose we could Google
I
our
could
own.
also Google it. Yes.
Okay, so that means I can't.
It was inducted in 2022.
Janis Joplin was inducted in 1995 posthumously.
Posthumously.
Yeah.
That's a funny word.
Yep. So when was Aretha Franklin
Definitely like
inducted?
the 70s.
I mean, that's got to make me closer, right? If she was the first and yours was 2022, did you say?
Yeah.
That seems way too late.
I know, criminal. I know.
Come on, Aretha. Only 8 years prior.
That feels like a cop-out win.
Fine, pick a new question. We're back to the trivia where it takes us 27 years. Oh,
Space.
Leg up right here. Oh, wait. You also like space. I'm locked in. If I'm wrong, I'll be so upset.
I'm also locked in.
What'd you
There's
say?
one other answer that it could be.
I agree.
Jupiter.
I said Saturn.
Oh, that's what was my other answer.
Saturn, let's go!
I was going to say Saturn, but
Nobody outspaces me.
I was like, if it's not Jupiter, it's going to be
I
Saturn.
would have had to go get my tattoo removed immediately if you had gotten that. I would have cried.
How many moons does Jupiter have?
Jupiter. I have no idea.
They're got to be close, right? How many did you say? Did we even repeat the question? I don't think we did.
Oh, we haven't repeated any of the questions.
I repeated the other two.
Oh, okay, good. It was what planet has the most moons?
What planet?
Oh, it has over 140
Has over
moons.
145 moons.
144.
79.
Oh, that's it? That one's got the rings, you know.
That one's got a lot of
They got a
debris.
lot of stuff.
A lot of debris.
Yeah, a lot of stuff bordering. 146. Oh my god.
274.
Oh my god. And they stopped it at 145 for the question.
I knew. I was like, I said Jupiter, but in my head, I was like, it's probably Saturn.
It's probably got more than that. And they're just
yeah.
not even.
Well, it
all
also
found
had
yet.
it also said it had 67 named moons. So like
So it's got over 200 unnamed orbiting
just
rocks.
spheres
Of
in space.
anyways, so I win.
Congratulations.
I
gave you a run for your money at the end there, though.
You did. I got a little nervous. So that means Cracker Barrel next week's on you.
All right.
Let's go. Speaking of Eat of the Week, this week's Eat of the Week was Miller's Ale House.
Oh yeah.
We went on Wednesday.
Yes.
Wednesday, Miller's Ale House. And what did you get? And what would you rank it?
I got the Mimi's Fiesta Bowl.
Mimi's.
Which is what I get every time at Miller's.
Yep.
It's okay. Out of 10?
Yes, out of 10.
I guess 6.
Okay. Average, not bad.
Average.
Pretty good. I always get the Zingers Mountain Melt from Miller's. And so I decided this time to change it up a little bit because I truly am not a big fan of a Zingers Mountain Melt. It's just a lot of food, so I know I'm going to be full and I'm going to have leftovers. But this time I was like, I'm going to try something a little bit different. So I just got Zingers. I just got chicken tenders like a loser.
They look good.
But I got a new sauce that I've never had. I've only ever had medium.
Really spicy, wasn't it?
It wasn't super spicy, but it was spicier than what I'm used to.
Yeah.
It was Caribbean jerk sauce. It was tossed in the sauce, and then it had a dipping sauce on the side that was also Caribbean jerk. Oh my God. Devastating side part, when we were packing up the new house, I noticed this morning the leftovers got thrown out. And I was like, I was going to bring them to work today. And I texted Riley. I was like, did my chicken get thrown out? And she was like, I don't think it ever made it out of the house. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, that was my lunch today. I was
somebody who's like morally opposed to throwing away food.
I was devastated. I could have cried at work today. I wanted that chicken so badly.
Man.
But that sauce.
Lost
like
in the sauce.
Zingers, yeah, I was lost in the sauce. Zingers on their own, 6.5, 7 out of 10. Caribbean jerk, Zingers, 9.5 out of 10. They were phenomenal.
Nice.
Yeah, fries were okay too.
I did have a mojito there too, and it was
mojito.
It was very good.
Yeah,
that was a very good mojito.
I had the summer shandy lining kugels.
Oh yeah, that was also very good.
Very tasty.
Yeah,
yeah. So tasty, in fact, that when I went to Epcot yesterday, I had a shandy from the pub in the UK that was mixed with Sprite that I'd never had before.
That's
but your dad told me
my dad has told me about that one too.
They will mix it with either lemonade or Sprite.
He does not like that one.
He doesn't like loved it.
Because they do that in Germany. They mix it with Sprite, and it's gross.
Oh, I thought it was good. I thought it was real good. Big fan.
Each his own.
I did get a drink on the 4th of July in the UK, which is crazy, but...
Well, you know.
Yeah. They knew who I was, though. I was wearing a flag overalls, so...
They knew what you were there for.
Yeah. Huh? Exactly, yeah. So that's our Eat of the Week. Would you say 6 out of 10?
Yeah.
6 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10. Next week, we're doing, potentially, Cracker Barrel. We'll have some Peanut Gallery folks with us, so they'll be able to give some numbers as well.
Mm-hmm.
Riley's chicken parm also never made it to the new house either, yeah. So she was also upset. A lot of
chicken parm.
Yeah. Big chicken.
Big chicken.
Yeah.
Man.
Anyways, Annabelle, where can people find you?
You can find me on TikTok and Instagram at Annabelle.Kessinger. That's it.
And that's it.
I normally do my Eat of the Week.
Not to go do my Eat of the Week. You can follow me on my photography Instagram at Sharky_photography and my regular Instagram at Secret Agent Sharky. As for the podcast, you can follow us on Twitter at CSGPod. That's CSGPOD. You can follow us on TikTok and on TikTok at the Shuffle_podcast and Instagram at
Got it.
No, I messed it up. TikTok at the Shuffle Podcast, Instagram at the Shuffle_podcast.
I don't know.
I think. That's
I
where
don't know our usernames.
that's where our clips are posted. Thanks, Megby, a new social media manager. And that's where you'll also start to see our weekly Eat of the Week posts, so you can see what we got, where we went, and what we rated them. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching, Caitlin. Thank you. We'll
Thanks.
talk to you guys next week, and also, and you should know this too.
You should know this too.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.